Hey everyone, it's Jack from cultaholic.com back with another quick news update, this time concerning Rich Swann. As of today, WWE, according to an announcement on their official Twitter account, have agreed to part terms with Rich Swann, and it was very much presented as though it was a mutual decision. Swann was, of course, in the headlines recently because of a reported domestic abuse incident in which he and his wife had some kind of public falling out, and he was alleged to have dragged her out of the car, and according to eyewitnesses, there was a lot of physical, domestic abuse. But since then, those charges have been dropped entirely by her. So there's not been anything officially announced by the police. There's been nothing. He's not been charged with anything. He's not been sentenced. So it's all very much kind of a situation involving, will WWE want to keep Rich Swann despite these allegations being forever tied to his name? And I think it turns out no, they'd rather that didn't happen. But it is very crucial to note that unlike the Enzo Amore case in which they went, no, we don't want anything to do with Enzo anymore, this was presented as a mutual decision. As I mentioned in the intro, it was WWE and Rich Swann have agreed to part company. So bit of a strange one, but I think we all kind of know the reason behind it. And in other news, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Triple H is assembling a team in NXT to take over. This has prompted massive reports and rumors online involving is he going to bring a stable through the main roster? Are they going to run through everyone like the Nexus back in 2010, only better now? I'm sorry to be a buzzkill, but the way I read it was that Triple H is assembling his team backstage in NXT, including guys like Borash, who's just been brought in, his backstage team around him for when Vince relinquishes some power and Triple H sort of more takes over WWE. He's going to have his personal advisors around him. That's just how I read it. But I mean, it's been widely reported already online that there's going to be a stable of NXT guys. They're going to take over. And you know what? Maybe that's right. But the way I read it was that Triple H, it's all behind the scenes. It's all backstage rather than an actual stable of wrestlers coming to mess stuff up. I nearly swore there twice. Mess stuff up in WWE. And in other news, Joe Hendry, a friend of many of us here at cultaholic.com, has qualified to represent Scotland in the Commonwealth Games in amateur wrestling. Big congratulations to Joe. This is an incredible achievement. I don't think enough has been made of this online, actually. It was on the front page of Reddit, I think. Hendry's qualified for the Commonwealth Games. But, I mean, it's obviously a lot of wrestlers have amateur wrestling backgrounds, but it's rare you see someone, as I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, as inexperienced as Hendry when it comes to amateur wrestling. I think he only got into it in the past couple of years. It's rare to see someone like that take to the sport so quickly and, go on and represent his country at an international level. It's wonderful stuff. Great for Joe, great for exposure to pro wrestling, I guess, as well. It's been a while since we've seen a true crossover star between amateur and professional wrestling, both at a high level. So check that out when the Commonwealth Games hit screens from Australia. Congratulations, Joe. Thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Jack from cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic, and do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/cultaholic, if you enjoy what we do. There are some rewards and all the rest of it. And never forget, of course, to join us.